A house in Wales stinks of rotten meat because of the gateway to another world, according to claims. Stephen Harper and his large family live in a house in North Wales of Great Britain, and since 2008, abnormal phenomena started happening in their house. Recently, their house started smelling like rotten meat. Harper's two-bedroom house looks like a typical country house, but there's something very unusual going on in it. Steve Harper himself and mother of four believes that in the living room of this house there is a gateway to another world. At home, it often starts to smell like rotting meat and appear greenish blue spheres appearing in the atmosphere of the house, in the air of the house. The strange phenomena began 3 months after the Harpers moved into this home in 2008. She said, "That morning my husband and I were at home. I was in bed in the upper bedroom, and suddenly there was a strong knock on the walls. Now looking back, I understand that this was only the beginning," the wife said. A month after this event, Steve had a second child, and after that the strange noises in their home became more frequent, and they were sure that these were not natural sounds of an old house. Sometime in the days between Christmas and New Year's, something seems to start banging on the walls, and the sounds got louder. That night we went to sleep at our mother's house. The next day, Colin, their first son, who is already an adult, he searched the whole house and in various places to find where the beatings and the bangs were coming from so that they could prevent them. And when he started banging on the banister on the stairs, we heard the same sound. So we assumed that someone at night was banging on the banisters of the staircase. Since then, so many unusual supernatural phenomena have happened in the house, and things started disappearing constantly out of nowhere, and the unpleasant smells of rotten meat are the latest. Once, when Steve was in the kitchen, he saw a crowd of people in old military uniforms through the window. The ghost soldiers suddenly marched past his house and disappeared. When he went out onto the street to get a better look at them, they were not there. The vases keep falling onto the floor on their own and breaking, he said. We thought about leaving the house several times, but then we got used to it, Harper said. Recently, a foul smell of rotten meat was emerging in his house, and its source is nowhere to be found. Steve is convinced that in their house there is a portal to another world, possibly the spirit world, where all these phenomena are coming from. The house was built in the 1950s or 60s, he said, and we checked the historical records at that place and found nothing unusual or paranormal. However, there are ruins of an old castle in the place, and once where our house is, there were many battles that took place. His children are no longer afraid of the unusual phenomena, and it has become part of their lives. So you see that something was there before their house was built. It was built on the ruins of an area of an old castle and an area where many battles took place. It could be that these are ghosts from these battles. I have to say that in the Battle of Marathon that took place around 500 BC, the Athenians against the Persians, in the area of Marathon around the middle of September, that's originally when that battle took place in September, people that live in Marathon, in the area of Marathon, say that they hear war cries and sword fights and clashing of swords and spears as if a battle is taking place. Isn't that something? Unexplained things. It could be that these are the ghosts of people that lost their lives and were never comforted. And this I've translated from a Greek article. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.